Are things getting more serious than we're being told? I've just been tipped off by a German looking at an article right now. We know they have been warned heavily about rolling blackouts, about power outages, but now this. German residents told to prepare for nuclear emergencies? The thing is, are they going to tell us about something that big? Is 2023 going to be the ultimate wrecking ball? Do we need to prepare now for something much bigger? An SHTF situation. Some pretty serious information coming right up. Welcome back to all of our subscribers. Thanks for watching our videos. If you're brand new here, like how-to videos, emergency preparedness videos, just like these, or news that affects you, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Okay, so as some of you guys know that have been watching this channel for a while, I've got a couple folks over there from Germany that have been tipping us off on what's going on over there. One of the things is that they're telling them to expect rolling blackouts. They're telling them to expect blackouts and extended blackouts. That means no power in the middle of winter when it's really cold. One of our subscribers from over there in Germany just sent me this. The article reads, German residents told to prepare for nuclear emergencies. And our subscriber specifically says, okay, now I'm getting a little scared. Look what they're telling us now. He says, now Germany is telling us citizens to prepare for nuclear emergencies as well. Oh, great. After telling us to prep for blackouts, I was like, no problem. But nuclear emergencies, is there something that they know that they're not telling us? And then he provided the link. Below that, it says, I can validate this information, but still, this is just not something I want to hear, you know? Okay, now I'm getting a little bit scared. So the article's title is German Residents Told to Prepare for Nuclear Emergencies. Below that, it says, residents in Germany must make preparations for nuclear emergencies. The President of Federal Office for Radiation Protection, Ingi Paulini, warned on Wednesday, and this was December 29th, 2022. And right here in this tweet in World News, Germans told to prepare for nuclear emergencies, RT World News. The head of the country's Radiation Protection Office says the Ukraine conflict could cause a wide range of catastrophes. So by the sounds of this, there are much more things going on than we're being told. And I can tell you guys this, if there's nuclear conflict at all, this is gonna create a domino effect for sure, because you know what type of influence is going into this, whether you agree with it or not, it's happening. The article goes on to read, in an interview with Funk Media Group newspapers, Paulini pointed out that the radiation does not stop at the borders and claimed that the ongoing military conflict between Moscow and Kiev has made it clear to the German residents that we have to be and remain prepared for a wide variety of nuclear emergencies. And that's true. If nuclear stuff happens on one side of the border, that kind of stuff doesn't stay there. It's going to creep across and then cause a domino effect in retaliation. Russia has repeatedly insisted that it does not intend to use atomic weapons in Ukraine and has referred to its nuclear doctrine, which only allows the use of such munitions in a retaliatory fashion or in case the country is faced with an existential threat from conventional warfare. And this part is where it actually gets real. Like, this is the believable stuff in warfare. Paulini also criticized Germany's neighbors who have not phased out of nuclear energy from the power grid. In quotes, on the contrary, many of our neighboring countries are planning new power plants, end quote. She said, warning of the risk of accidents at these facilities, which could affect all of Europe. And we've seen that before. All it takes is a huge power outage. All it takes is a misfired missile. One of these big nuclear power plants has an issue, and that's a whole other type of nuclear issue, which, like she said, affects everyone. It might not be like an atomic bomb was dropped or something like that, but one of these nuclear power plants get disrupted and it can have the same effect to a certain measure, which is no good for anyone. Article goes on to read, Germany in recent years has launched an initiative to wean itself off of nuclear energy, which there's a lot of controversy from the locals because at the same time, they're not really set up with a new energy to help them through these hard winters with staying warm. The country's Green Party pointing to potentially catastrophic risks associated with producing it. The nation only has 3 operational nuclear plants remaining after the MPs voted in November to extend the operations until April 2023, in light of the ongoing energy crisis in Europe. Meanwhile, Vice President of the Bundestag and FDP member Wolfgang Kubicki has blasted the government's refusal to revise its overall approach to nuclear power plants and has warned of a potential default unless something is done to address the energy crisis. And I can see the angle from different sides here. It's just funny that they try to kick these things out of the mix when they're not ready with the new mix. And why is it always in the middle of winter? In quotes, it says, "We don't want gas and oil supplies from Russia anymore. At the same time, our green friends are restarting coal-fired plants while preventing a reasonable extension of the life of nuclear power plants," Kubicki said earlier this week. And that's crazy too, because some of these places in Europe are going back to the old way. In fact, with the energy crisis, not having enough power, I've seen some articles how some countries are going to restrict the use of battery-powered vehicles, probably because they suck a lot of power and they don't have the power. By the way, the article I read is by GVS. So I thought the Germans might know something that we don't know, and they're definitely not scared to let their public know about warnings. I don't think it happens here quite as much because they don't want the panic, but they've definitely been warning their citizens about rolling blackouts, extended power outages, and now nuclear emergency. Again, let me know if you guys happen to have any more information on that down below. riversidehomesteadlife@gmail.com. 2023 might be a wild ride, so prepare now. Be ready for SHTF. If you haven't started prepping, you might want to consider prepping for at least a short-term emergency. We've got great videos on how to prepare, how to be ready for an emergency heat sources for when that power goes out, and a lot more. Take care out there, guys. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you on the next one.